Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Chelsea J Experience, where I give you uncensored and unfiltered advice on all things career and business because I made all the mistakes so you don't have to. Today, we are going to talk about resume myths, one of my favorite topics. Over 10 years, I wrote resumes for people. I did it professionally for years as well. Built my business, seasoned and growing, writing resumes. And trust me, I've seen a little bit of everything, especially as an executive director and a hiring manager. I've seen a lot. And I can tell you what works and what doesn't work. But today we are going to break down the top 3 myths. There are so many out there and a lot of bad advice. And you need to be really mindful of where you're finding your sources and what you're taking in and what you're holding on as to truth. So just remember to be mindful, do your research. If someone says something about a resume that sounds kind of off, or they don't have a background in writing resumes or reviewing resumes, don't be so quick to say, okay, this is Bible, this is what it is, because oftentimes it is not. All right. The first myth when it comes to resume writing is page length. Oh my gosh. I can't tell you how many times I've heard, especially college students, like people who are or college graduates actually, I have heard them say over and over and over again, my resume needs to be 1 page. And sometimes I get a mid-career professional who tells me it needs to be 1 page. Stop. Like, if you're a person who spreads that lie and that myth and that belief, stop it. And if you're in a spot right now where you believe it, get it out of your mind right now, because it's not true. Your resume does not have to be 1 page, especially if you've been working for a while, you have a lot of experience with community groups and community involvement, education, accomplishments that you've had throughout your career, holding different types of board positions, volunteer positions, whatever it is. You do not want to restrict and actually constrict yourself to 1 page if it doesn't fully tell your story. I will say the average length is about 2 pages, depending on your industry, honestly. So, of course, academia, that's a completely different industry. It's going to be a little bit longer because they require more. But for the average professional, 2 pages should do you. It gives you an opportunity to showcase your branding statement, your accomplishments, your skills, your history, and your education. And you want to make sure that it's concise as well. You don't want to ramble on the 2 pages and not put information that doesn't really matter. But you want to make sure that you're getting your point across. I'm a professional in this area. I know what I'm doing. Here are my wins, and here's how I can help your organization do whatever it is you do or whatever problem they need solved. Most of the time, you can tell your career story and really get people engaged in 2 pages. If you bring it down to 1, I bet you're leaving out information that really needs to be on there. So get rid of that myth right now. All right. Number 2, the tone. Do you talk in first or third person? All right. Your resume, you should not have I or my anywhere on your resume, okay? Because it's not a social media profile. It's not an online dating site. It's actually a professional document that shows employers and recruiters and hiring managers your skills where it comes to demonstrating your value in writing. So it needs to be professional. It needs to be in third person. So if you have a I or a my there, please take that out. I see I and my a lot when it comes to when people have objective statements on their resume, which, bonus, if you have an objective statement in 2022, take that off right now. Back in the day, objective statements were huge, but it was super like me focused, all about me and what I want to do with my career. Employers don't care about that nowadays. They want to know what you can do for them. So the best thing that you can do for yourself is put together a branding statement, talk about your results, what you do best, what your superpower is, and how you help employers. And you do that through a branding statement, not an objective statement. And if you're interested in examples and learning more about that, I can put together another video. Let me know in the comments. And while we're at it, don't forget to subscribe. We're building a community here, and I want to hear from you. And I want you to get notified whenever I drop a video, okay? All right. So number 3, the third myth. You have to put every job on your resume. Newsflash, you don't have to. Every single job does not need to go on your resume. A rule of thumb is 10 to 15 years. That is what employers want to see. They want to see the most recent accomplishments, the most recent responsibilities and tasks that you have had to do. They don't care about what you did 20, 30, 40 years ago. They don't care about your high school diploma or your associate's degree. If you have a bachelor's and master's, that's irrelevant. I mean, I'm happy you have it. I'm all about education. I'll put that out there. But there are some things that just don't need to be on there. So 10 to 15 years of experience. If you had a stint where you took a role and you realized it wasn't a good fit, and then you only stayed there for 2 or 3 months, even 2 or 3 months, we'll stay there. If you took a role like that, that does not have to go on your resume. If you took a part-time role just to get by, just to make some extra cash, but that part-time role was working at a store or doing Mary Kay, or what are the other things? It Works. The other thing, Avon, whatever people do, that does not have to go on your resume, especially if you're not going for a role that's really related to business. Everything on your resume needs to be intentional. It needs to make sense, and it needs to be relevant for the position that you are applying for. You can't see me right now, but I'm like doing this on the countertop because I'm serious here. All right. Those are the 3 myths. There are so many more, but I wanted to create just a short, quick video for you to refer to. If you have a question regarding a myth that you heard, I can make a separate video to that. I'm happy to do that. Just make sure that you leave that in the comments. I would love to hear about the resume strategies and myths that you have heard over the years, or that you have practiced, or you realized weren't true. I'd love to have a conversation about it. So let's do it. All right, I hope that this was helpful for you all. As always, I'll make sure to summarize everything in the description so you can quickly refer back to it. But I think that's it. That's a wrap for this video. So until next time, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. All right, I'll see you guys again.